Hi everyone, as you will probably know by now, if you're a Spoonflower designer, they have now deployed and completely rolled out the new design, upload and edit process. It's no longer being beta tested. Everyone has been forced into it. And I know that some people are feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So I wanted to create this video to walk you through all the interfaces, all the changes so that you can feel more comfortable using it. I have broken it all up into chapters with timestamps below so you don't have to listen to the whole thing, but I am going to cover today uploading your images, single image or single design and bulk designs, how that works and how it works a little bit differently. And I'm going to talk to you about if you have any special characters in your title. So if you've used commas or forward slashes in the past, and if your design titles are longer than 75 characters, I'll cover that as well. Don't worry, don't have to freak out about them. It's okay. So we'll talk about uploading, like I said, and then we'll have a look at the new design layout pages of where you will set your pattern repeat and the new ways to scale your designs, and where you can get some handy links to send customers. What else? Marking them for sale, and also how you can opt in and out of home decor, because some people don't realize that, and also third-party distribution. So having your designs sold on Spoonflower's external marketplaces like Etsy. If you didn't know, Spoonflower has Etsy shops, eBay, Amazon, Wayfair, Michaels, a whole bunch of third-party marketplaces that, you know, if you can get your designs on there, it's just another opportunity for sales. So I'll cover that as well. Hopefully I'll answer most of your questions as we go, but if you do have any by the end, pop them below and I will answer them for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to start at the start. I'm on the Spoonflower homepage. I'm going to start by uploading just one design, and we'll see that process, and then I'll bulk upload 10 designs. So let's start with one. Go to the person icon, click upload a design. It's a bit windy here and I have some very strange ghost sounding noises in the background. Hopefully you won't hear them. All right, this is the new upload image interface. It's got an announcement bar up here, which is basically just saying, if you get stuck, go to the help center. But today I'm your help center. Upload your design, art or photo, JPEG and PNG accepted. So no more TIFF files. If you've been uploading TIFF files, those designs will be fine. But if you need to update them, so upload a revision, it will need to be a JPEG or a PNG. Up to 10 files at a time. We used to only be able to upload 8, 40 megabytes per design file, which is amazing because previously it was just 8 files, 40 megabytes total, but now each of our 10 files that we upload can be 40 megabytes each, which is great if you design using a lot of Photoshop layers or textures and you have big files. Like some of mine are nearly 40 megabytes, so this is a huge improvement. 150 DPI as usual, but you can upload a higher DPI. And then all that's shown on the rest of the page is just the different products that you can sell your design on. Some of them are missing for some reason, like cocktail napkins aren't here. I think some others are missing. I did report it to Spoonflower, but it obviously doesn't matter. Okay, so let's click choose files. Now I've got 11 files here. I'm just going to start with one to begin with. So this is just a little one. All right, this is showing the file name and the size of the file. And in order to upload it, as before, you still need to agree to Spoonflower's terms of service and to say, it's my IP, I'm not violating anything. And click agree and continue. And that'll just take a moment. All right, so this is the new edit details screen. So I'll walk you through this. We've got, again, our file name, which we will update. This will be our design title. We've got our thumbnail here, and you can edit what your thumbnail looks like. It's always defaulted to this 18-inch by 18-inch. There's also centered crop and swatch. Let's just reload that page. What's going on? All right, edit thumbnail. There we go. So yeah, you can pick whatever your design will look best as. So just keep in mind that this thumbnail is what your design will be, or how your design will be presented in shoppers' search results, or while they're just browsing the Spoonflower marketplace or platform. This is also how it will look in your shop and when they're going through the checkout. So you might like to choose centered crop if you think that shows a bit more of your design, or if you have very small motifs, then you might like to choose 8 by 8 inch swatch. But I'm going to choose centered crop because I think that looks best for this design. And then we'll click save. Oh, it also tells you here what part of the design it's showing. So the first two options orient from the bottom left of your design, and the third option is a centered view of your design. Okay, click save. And then you've got a drop-down menu here, file options. And this is where you can replace the current file. So if you've gone and proofed your file and you found an issue while proofing it and you need to go and fix it in your design software and upload another version, this is how you'll do it. It was previously revise your design. Then you can also download your current file for whatever reason you need to, and you can also delete from here. Then clicking not proofed, that will start the proofing process, the digital proofing process. Now I have a whole other video going through the digital proofing process with some things to look out for and to be mindful of, especially if you upload anything with a diagonal stripe. I cover that. So I won't go through that now, but I will just quickly pretend to proof it. I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to say it looks good. Even though it looked pixelated, it still looks good. Go and watch the other video. All right, so now that says that it's proofed. Then next to that, for some reason, they show us the pixel dimensions of our file, which I don't know what value that adds, but they're there. When you upload a design, it is always set to private. You have to manually set it to mark it for sale. Every single design is also assigned a unique design ID, which you can always find up here, this string of numbers in the URL. And it can be really handy because when you post to Instagram, for example, you can't add a link in your caption, but you can quote this number, this unique design ID, and direct your followers to go and pop it into the Spoonflower search bar. And then when they hit enter, that is the only design that will be returned to them. So that is a little bit handy, and I'm going to take the credit for that because I requested it. So Spoonflower does listen. Obviously they can't do everything that we ask for, but that is really handy. Okay, moving through the page, edit, title, and search. So that sounds a bit weird, but what they mean by search is this is where you're going to edit the searchable fields. So the title, the description isn't searchable, but that is, this is where you edit it. But title and tags, they are searchable. So make sure that you update those. I'm not going to go through and update all of mine, but I am going to tell you that the title is now limited to 75 characters. So that is new. I don't know what the limitation was before, but there are some really long titles out there, including some of my own designs, but 75 characters is plenty. Now, a lot of my old designs also have some forward slashes, and yours might have some other special characters as well. And some of them are now no longer available. They're now invalid characters. The special characters that you can use are hyphen, apostrophe, quotation marks, ampersand, and period and parentheses. When it first was rolled out, we couldn't even use brackets, but you can now. Now, if any of your design titles, I just want to clarify this because I know that a lot of people have been concerned about this, and I did check with Spoonflower. Existing designs that you have, if the design title is longer than 75 characters, that is okay. They're not going to get chopped off. They're not going to get punished in search or anything like that. It's just that if you ever need to go and edit the details on that file, you will be prompted to reduce the character length of that field. And it'll just show like this. It'll show an error telling you that it's too long, and it'll tell you how many characters you need to get rid of. So that's handy. So what I'm saying is you do not have to go through and spend time updating all of those existing titles that you know are too long. It is okay. You can just do it as you need to. Okay, description, it's always only allowed 150 characters, but previously the old interface did actually allow you to put in more characters. It's just that when you made your design for sale, it would chop them off, truncate them. So you might have descriptions out there where a word is cut in half because you didn't realize you'd gone over the 150 characters. Whereas now in this interface, you cannot enter a description that is over 150 characters. Now the tags, they've got some tips here on what kind of tags you should do. They've got these drop-down menus now, which they say up here, these are commonly used search terms by Spoonflower shoppers. So you might like to select some of those, but you can still enter in your own keywords and just hit enter. And then you can batch add them as well. If you type them up on a separate note or like a Word document or whatever, separate them with commas and then paste them in. So I'm going to paste in 3 keywords that I've separated with commas, and see they've all pasted in separately. So you can still bulk add keywords in that way. Still only 20 characters in length each keyword. That includes spaces. And it will tell you how many keywords you've got left to use. This is where you'll check the box if it's a little bit naughty, your design, if it's mature content. This is where you add your design to a collection. Now, if I had more collections on this account, which is just my test account, I'd be able to scroll through them, but I only have these ones. And additional details. So now this is limited as well. Some additional details out there are like short stories. So Spoonflower's limited them to 255 characters or less. You can paste into this field as you can all the other fields, but this field is not searchable. So just keep that in mind. And whenever you make a change, so if you update the title, if you add in, I don't know, whatever you want to add in, just make sure that you scroll down and click save. But it would be handy if there was a save button up here, because quite often I'm just editing the title. If I go to shut down this window, I am prompted, thankfully, but I do not know if this is, I probably could have done some testing, but maybe you can let me know in the comments. I do not know if this is a Chrome thing or a Spoonflower prompted thing. So one of them is telling me you've made changes and you haven't saved them. Do you want to still leave the page or do you want to go back and save them? So yes, I want to go back and save them. So click save or cancel. All right, now on this edit details page is also where you will enter a challenge. So if I click enter design challenge, there have been some changes. Now, if I hadn't have proofed the design, I would actually, a different box would come up and it would tell me, in order to enter a challenge, you need to be a verified seller now, you need to proof your design, and you need to set your design for sale. So I haven't made my design for sale yet, and that's what it's telling me to do. So it's very intuitive, you can't break anything. And if something doesn't work as you expect it to, just message Spoonflower, email artist@spoonflower.com and tell them what's happening. So there may be a bug, or you may just be kind of getting used to it. So yeah, just know that you can't break anything. And if you can break something, well, that's a Spoonflower issue. And then on this page, it also shows you what your design looks like on all the products. So we used to have to navigate away to a different page to view view our design on all the products. And I find this really handy. I do love this change. Again, it doesn't show you every single product, but it shows you enough. You get a good idea of what your design looks like. This is also where you can edit the size or the scale of your design on fabric and wallpaper. And as per usual, whatever size you make your design on fabric, these other products, every other product apart from wallpaper, will inherit that design scale of fabric. So if I make this really, really small on Fabric by the Yard, it'll be really, really small on all of these products as well. So I'll go through editing the scale shortly. Now we've also got these buttons here, so buy and share. Now these are really handy too. So if I click the share button, it actually copies a link that if you shared it with a customer or a potential customer, it would take them to that design. So rather than us having to navigate to the customer facing website, look up our design, then copy the link from there, we can just come into our design library while we're already here and click share and copy a link. So that's great. The buy button, it does take you to the customer facing web page. So, I mean, you could click buy and then you could come up and copy this URL, but that's essentially what the share button is doing. But if you want to buy the design yourself, whoops, you can click the buy button and it will take you directly to Fabric by the Yard, or it will take you directly to, if you want to buy a duvet cover, it'll take you to the duvet cover. So just saving a few clicks there. Now you can see here a lovely seam, and that's because this is a half drop repeat. And we'll get to that in a moment. So we'll close those down. And then the wall hangings and tea towels. Let's just pop up here first, actually. If we click for sale, you can choose to sell your design on wallpaper, fabric, and all home decor products. That's a little misleading, and I'll explain in a moment. Or you can sell your design on a wall hanging, tea towel, and fabric only. So you do have options. Now, why would you only want to sell your design on wallpaper? Well, perhaps you have licensed that design to a fabric manufacturer or another product category, but perhaps you are still able to sell that design in another product category, such as wallpaper. And Spoonflower wallpaper, it is worth selling your designs on because the commissions are amazing. So that is when you might only want to sell a design on wallpaper if you've licensed it to another category. You can sell your designs on fabric and all home decor products. You can uncheck wallpaper and not sell it on wallpaper if you're already licensed in the wallpaper category, perhaps, or if the design is not really suitable to be sold on wallpaper. Fabric and all home decor products. Now you can actually opt out of having your design sold on home decor products, and I will show you where to do that because some people just don't realize. So you're going to go up to your person icon, down to account settings, and then over to design distribution. Once you get on the design distribution tab, you will see home decor. Spoonflower has expanded its product offerings to include home decor. This is not new. I know that a lot of people don't know about this tab, but this is not new. It's written like it's new. Yes, please distribute my designs on home decor items, or no, I do not want to sell my designs on home decor items. So, I mean, if you're not licensed with any home decor items, I would absolutely be selling on home decor items, which I am. But if you are licensed, well, then you can come in and select, no, I don't want to sell on sheets and tablecloths and curtains and things like that. But you can still choose to sell on wallpaper and or fabric by the yard. And then external marketplaces, while we're here, you can opt in and you might want to check. And again, I know that a lot of people don't realize, but Spoonflower has Etsy shops, it has eBay, Amazon, Michaels, Wayfair, sells on a whole bunch of other third-party platforms. And I absolutely have opted into all of those, and I get a lot of sales from those other platforms as well. So that's a whole other lesson as well, but this is where you can opt in or out of those third-party external marketplaces. And then if you make any changes, just make sure that you click on Update All Distribution Settings. Now, toggling on Sell on a wall hanging or tea towel, so perhaps you've got like a calendar print, maybe you've designed it. It says here, choose this option for your 27-inch by 18-inch design. So quite often like a spot print or, like I said, a calendar tea towel or calendar wall hanging or something. This is what you'll toggle on. So previously you will have added the SF rotate tag. You don't need to do that anymore now that we've got this little button to toggle on and off. And then coming back down to wall hanging, we also have rotate design. So this isn't a fairly new button, even since this has gone live. This was not here originally. So this must have been updated in response to feedback. So if I click on this button, now I don't do tea towels and wall hanging, so I'm really not across all of this, but it says rotate, tea towel, and wall hanging if you wish. So like I said, I'm guessing this is in response to feedback. Choosing the rotate option will disable this design on wallpaper and home decor products, but leave tea towel, wall hanging, and fabric enabled. So it defaults to standard, or if you select rotate, then you have to click save. Let's see what happens. Okay, and then I have a message. I'm learning this on the fly. Edit products. You have rotated your design on wall hanging and tea towel, meaning the design only prints correctly on the products below. To undo this and restore other products, choose rotate design. Okay. All right, so because I've rotated the design, It's only available on these 3 products. If I want to undo that, we'll click rotate design, we'll go back to standard, and we'll click save. And now I can sell it on all the others. Now I'm just going to do a quick test while we're here. Sorry, you're going to watch me test now. Okay, click save, rotate. Then what happens when I hit, whoop. Then if I hit for sale, okay, so when I hit for sale then, it now forces me, I can only sell it on wall hangings, tea towels and fabrics. So that's great that the system actually enforces it, so you don't have to worry that, oh, I'm going to have the wrong thing selected. The system won't let you. Okay, so I'm going to rotate it back so that I don't want to sell it on those things or only those things. And now I can select wallpaper and fabric. Okay, but I'm not going to select that because I want to go and resize it and adjust my pattern repeat. All right, so let's go ahead and edit the scale of the design. So we're heading down to edit. We'll start with the fabric by the yard. As you know, you can have a different scale for fabric and a different scale for wallpaper. Okay, so this is the new design layout page, editing fabric and home decor. If you're opted in, here's where you can change your repeat. So you can see here, mine is a half drop repeat. So we're going to select half drop. There's also half brick, mirror, center, but you can see how that is changing. So it all happens over here in real time. Center, but no, I want half drop, and then I'm going to hit save. I could make more changes, but oh, it's booted me out. All right, let's go back to edit because I want to change the scale as well. All right, I get a bit funny. I like to hit save a lot because I don't want to forget to save something. All right, it's showing down here, preview fabric. So this is the size that you are previewing. I believe it always defaults to yard. I don't know if you change it. I can't remember if it actually saves your previous setting. But you might be wondering, well, why do I want to view it on different fabrics? Because you don't actually see the fabric texture or anything, but it's for the widths. So if you're designing something and you're designing it, perhaps you've got a really wide duvet cover design or something like that, you can preview it on the 116-inch wide fabric and see what it looks like. Or, for example, I used to design height charts and they needed to be printed on the recycled canvas. So that's 54-inch. So I would view it on the 54-inch fabric so I could see my entire design. Otherwise, if I was still looking at the 42-inch, it would be chopping off half the design. So that's where you do that. And then here, preview cut size, you can view as 1 yard. You can view as a swatch, which is great when you are resizing sometimes. You're going to use this slider to adjust the scale, and that can help you have a look at, okay, well, how many inches are these flowers? Oh yeah, I can see they're about 2 inches. Oh, I want them a bit smaller. I want them a bit bigger. So the slider is quite fun. I'm getting distracted now. Swatch, fat quarter, again, that can be handy when you're scaling. And then you can view up to 4 yards length. So for example, I have some cot sheets that I have designed, or crib sheets, and they are designed to be printed over 2 yards. So I need to be able to look at how my design is laid out over the 2 yards. So that is when that might come in handy. But sometimes it is nice to be able to view your design and how it looks over a really large kind of area. So I think that looks great. And okay, so scaling. Like I've already showed you, you've got this slider. You can choose, if you are outside of the US, you might like to use centimeters, the metric system. I've gotten used to personally, because I've been on Spoonflower so long and so many of their customers are in the US, I've just kind of forced myself to learn inches and get a good idea about inches, but you can switch it. Previously, you couldn't do that. And sometimes it might be handy if you need to send a screenshot or something to a customer and show them centimeters, and it'll still be there. So this is showing a meter. Yeah, it gets a bit tricky. So it's still it says 2 yards, but it's actually 2 meters. So just kind of ignore the preview cut size measurements here. That should really say 2 meters. Okay, so I'm going to put it back to inches. You can also just type in, okay, I want this design to be 12 inches wide. And by the design, it means the design tile. So it was 24 inches, so now I've scaled it down to 12 inches, and then it adjusts the height automatically. Maybe I want the height to be 6 inches. and then that's going to adjust the width automatically as well. Or maybe I want to make it, maybe someone said, oh, can I have this 50% bigger? And I'll say, sure. And then I can, you know, adjust the scale that way. I can go, oh no, I do want it 100%. Oh, and then hit enter, and can't go over 100%, obviously. I can't make anything bigger on Spoonflower unless it's been reduced down first. So that will give you an error. Okay, and then this optional selling setting. And this is just if you are designing something, like I mentioned, I used to design height charts and they were best printed on the recycled canvas. So I would go and select recycled canvas from this list and then click save. And that just gives a message on the front end to the customer to say the designer recommends this be printed on recycled canvas. It's a message along those lines. But if you don't have any special instructions or requirements for your design, just leave it as all and don't worry about this optional selling setting. It doesn't get enforced on the other end. It doesn't force the customer to buy it on recycled canvas. It's just advice, and you don't have to have it. All right, so I've made those changes. Maybe I'll reduce it down to 12 inches, and then we'll click save. Now I've made it smaller, I've changed it to a half drop. It says images may take 1 to 3 minutes to update, and I thought that updated just then. So this is all looking smaller. So it's just great to be able to go in, change the size. It may not happen as quickly as that, I think because I was fluffing around quite a bit for quite a while. It has updated the images, but sometimes when I come back, it does take still a little while to update. But if you go and click on buy, you can actually see some other mock-ups. And that's a way to kind of see how your adjustments are looking if it's taking too long in the design layout page to update the mock-ups. Now you might notice, again, just getting sidetracked, but you might notice, this is very handy, these little L's. And one of my members in Power Sellers Academy, her husband has actually created this amazing browser extension that allows you to download the highest resolution mockup possible from Spoonflower with just a couple of clicks. Previously, it was open it in another window, change the size in the URL, save it, a heap of clicks. But now all you need to do, if you've downloaded this extension, and I have another video tutorial showing you that, right click and save image as, and you've got a high resolution image to use in your marketing, which is amazing. Okay, back to scaling. So let's go in and have a look at the wallpaper scaling. Again, just clicking edit. You can see currently it's 24 by 24 inches, 100%. I've updated the fabric to be half the scale, and it's showing now the file scale is 12 by 12 inches, 50%. So it is, I have found it really handy in just while I've been operating to see what the current file scale is. So click edit. Okay, we're in the wallpaper design layout interface now, which does look quite different. You're immediately looking at one roll width. So you can see here 24 inches. Every wallpaper roll is 24 inches wide, and so are the swatches. Now this looks like it might be a swatch preview, but it's not. It's a bit higher than a swatch. So a swatch is only 12 inches high. This is showing you 16. So if you just take off 4 inches, you're going to get an idea of what your design will look like on a swatch. You can come down here to the preview and select 2 rolls wide, so you can get more of an idea of what your design looks like over a larger surface area. You can now see my seam from my half drop pattern repeat, so we will fix that up in a moment. You've got this mock-up here, which you can toggle on and off. I do like having the mock-up on because it gives me a bit of context and perspective, but you can turn it on and off. All right, your pattern repeats are over here, so it's always defaulted to basic. Even though I've updated my fabric to be half drop, it hasn't come across to my wallpaper. So if you're selling on wallpaper, you have to come and do it on wallpaper as well. So I'm going to click half drop. There's also half brick and mirror, but I can't select those right now because your pattern width, it needs to be less than 24 inches. Your pattern actually needs to be it needs to be repeated twice across a wallpaper roll. So it needs to be 12 inches. And then these options become available. But obviously they look horrible with my design because it's not designed to be a half brick or a mirror. So I'll click half drop. Now this is a bit different now. I'm going to go back to basic because previously, and stay with me, repeats on wallpaper are a little bit tricky. You can't go in and just edit these numbers freely like you can in the fabric, because wallpaper, it needs to repeat across a roll of wallpaper. Your design needs to repeat across a roll of wallpaper a certain number of times so that the left and the right side will match up on the next roll. But Spoonflower will enforce all of that for you. That's why you can't just freely edit these figures here. And you'll notice that there is nothing about DPI here anymore. So I know that did used to confuse a lot of people. I do miss not having the DPI, but yeah, there's just plenty of ways that you can still adjust the scale. You can now have an 8-inch wide pattern repeat on a wallpaper roll. So your pattern repeats 3 times across a roll. Previously, it had to be 1 or an even number of times, but now you can have 3 times across a roll. So I know I may be losing some of you here, but some of you may be thinking, oh, that's great, because I've always wanted to have it 3 times, not 4 times across a roll. So yes, you can do that now if you have a basic repeat, but I have a half drop, so I can't do three times across the roll because then it wouldn't line up with the next roll and I get this error. So again, like I've already said, you cannot break anything, and the system more often than not will force you to do the right thing. Okay, so I think 6 is too small, so let's go 12, and then we'll hit save. And then that's telling me that is matching the fabric now. So I've got 12 inches by 12 inches and 12 inches by 12 inches. Okay, so that is adjusting the scale of your design on fabric and wallpaper. And then once you're happy with all of that, you can go and click for sale, mark it for sale on everything that you want it for sale on, click save, and you are done. Now let's go and upload in bulk because we want to be efficient. Very rarely am I uploading one design at a time, and there are some cool features in uploading bulk designs. So let's have a quick look before we finish up. So heading back up to my person icon, clicking upload design. All right, choose files. I'm going to choose all of these ones. I'll get rid of that one. Now you can see some of these files, 25.2 meg, 14.1 meg, 12.3. So I've got some big ones in here. I've got PNGs, I've got JPEGs, I've got a bit of a mix, all different kinds of files. Some of them are vector, some of them are watercolor, raster. All right, so uploading 10 files. If I was only uploading 8, it would say uploading 8 files. 73.4 meg in total. Agree and continue. So I can't tell if it's my internet or if I'm not clicking or what's going on. Now this looks like it's taking ages for me to accept this agreement, but it's actually uploading in the background. That's what's happening here. When I first did this, I thought, why is this box not going away? But no, it's uploading. So it's uploading 10 files. Now, this is what it looks like when you upload in bulk. So we're going to have 2 quick action buttons populate here, and they are very handy. You can see here, this is my file name, very technical, 300 DPI 01. We'll change that. And you've got a little bit of a fuzzy thumbnail. I don't think these are meant to be clear. It's just to give you an idea of what files you have uploaded, I'm guessing. And I think it was more designed for square pattern repeats, which hardly any of mine are square. Now this one isn't an issue or a bug. That is the size of my pattern repeat. It's a big one. So I rarely do squares. But scrolling down, you can see them all. I never do this. I never scroll down and look at them all. There really isn't any need. I go straight to Edit Designs in New Tab, so we can click on that. This page is still here, so you can go back to it. You can also click on Edit Designs in Design Library if you wish. And that's going to open up your design library. All the others are opening up in new tabs, so that has saved me a bunch of clicks because that used to be part of my process. I would upload, then I would go and go and open them all in a separate tab. So I'd be doing 10 clicks, but now it does it all for me, which is great. You can see everyone is assigned an individual design ID and they're all marked to private. Okay, so when you click on Edit Designs in Design Library, it automatically opens up in the list view, my favorite view. And you can edit the title here, you can edit the description, you can do a whole heap of bulk actions, you can even do the tags here. So that is up to you. Or you can go to each of these and do them individually, as I just showed you with the floral design, the moody floral design that I uploaded. So you can go through that whole process this way. That's really all I need to show you with this. You do everything the same. It's just that it can speed up your uploading process by doing it in bulk and having all of them open up in new tabs. I just find that really handy, and this is definitely how I operate day to day. This is the process that I'm using, this bulk process. Okay, that is really it, and I hope that you found this walkthrough helpful. I hope it's put you at ease somewhat. Now, I go into all this stuff and just lots more strategies on how I became a top seller and ways that you can use the platform to build your business in my Power Sellers Academy membership. I go into all of it. And you can find out more about Power Sellers Academy on the information page, which I've linked below, and you can read a lot of what members have had to say inside there as well. Okay, thanks for watching.